Hello, good morning, and welcome to another episode of What Do We Do Now? A conversation about the live event industry. Today, like normal, I am joined by Tony. Say good morning, Tony.
Good morning, Dave. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I heard that your puppy went outside for the first time this week. How was that?
Oh my God, it was amazing. Yeah, so he went out for the first time yesterday, first paws on the ground. Oh, it was amazing and he loved it. So yeah, and it's nice to be able to get out of the four walls of the house and the garden and let him sort of on normal ground.
So cool. And today our guest is Amy. Say good morning, Amy.
Hi everyone. Hi Dave. Hi Tony. Thank you so much for having me.
How are you? You're very welcome. It's great to have you along. Thank you for agreeing to come and share. The first question I always start with is, how did you get your start in the live event industry? What's your origin story? Like, where did you begin, and right through to what do you do now?
I had no idea what I wanted to do when I graduated. I graduated in 2007, went travelling on and off for around 4 years.
Very nice. Where did you go?
Yeah.
Where didn't you go if it was 4 years?
I did the Southeast Asia, New Zealand, Australia, bit of the States, came back, did a bit more work, saved a bit more money, and then went again. I did up in Australia for 2 years.
What was your favourite country?
I mean, Fiji was absolutely unreal.
Agreed.
It's like a dream destination. Yeah, amazing. But I've got a big place in my heart for Australia. I know a lot of friends who, kind of live over there now, and the lifestyle and, that is just incredible. I'm a hot weather girl, so yeah.
Yeah. And then what did you do? So obviously after travelling, what made you then sort of stay place in?
My visa ran out in Australia.
Okay.
I had to come home. So I got back and I was 25 years old, and I just still did not know what I wanted to do with my life. So it got to the point where I was like, I'm going to do some temp work. So I started temping. I previously worked in a company doing some health and safety bits. So I was there for just shy of 2 years. So I had a bit of health and safety in my background. So I applied for a job at IOSH in the events team. So Institution of Occupational Safety and Health. And I was combining my newfound love for events and organising, and just obviously very much a people person with my knowledge of health and safety, and the two combined seemed to work really well. So I was there for about 2 years or so actually, and then worked my way up, did some travelling, was running conferences and events around the UK and then in the Middle East. Amazing team, incredibly supportive manager that I just clicked with from the start, and that's kind of where I got my the bug for events, I think. Yeah.
Wow, and I mean that experience at IOSH must give you quite a unique perspective on everything, I guess, that's going on at the moment. I wasn't particularly planning on going down this route too much, but tell us a little bit about that. Like, obviously, the rate of change, I suppose, in terms of the guidance must be incredible. Like, are you keeping pace with it all, or do you know what I mean? How are you kind of coping with that through all this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly trying to. I mean, I always keep up to date with my IOSH training. So I've had that since 2013, I believe now. And obviously with all the guidance that's just recently come out, the All Secure Standards document, that's quite
So just for people that aren't so familiar, just tell us a tiny bit more about that.
So that is an initiative that's been pulled together by the Events Industry Board, so AEO, ESSA, and AEV. And they've been kind of championing the government to obviously get this start date, which meant they had to kind of pull all their resources and come up with this amazing document. And then that is now what's kind of guiding the industry in terms of our safety measures around COVID. So,
and do you know where people get that from at the moment? If they want to read it, just say the name of it again for us.
So it's the All Standards Secure document. So I can give you a link actually, and you can perhaps post it along with this.
Great idea. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So good, so cool. Thank you for that. Tony, over to you.
Yeah, so obviously you sort of started in art, and then you said that you've done lots of different conferences, and sort of your career has just sort of progressed from there. Have you got an actual favourite job that you've done? Because obviously having a health and safety more background, it's just be interesting to hear what your favourite job has been.
Well, I'm not going to lie, that's not exactly my passion. My passion is certainly events. It just so happened that was the industry that I fell into. But when I moved to London, actually in 2014, I got an amazing job as part of an events team for IBC, so International Broadcasting Convention, which is media, technology, broadcast, film, television, all the exciting stuff. So that was a huge event that takes place in Amsterdam every year. And I think a highlight for me of my career is working on that event. I mean, it's a year-long lead time, but it's quite a lean team who work on it. And we bring in loads of freelancers and contractors and a huge supplier network. I mean, the event itself is around 60,000 people. Build time is almost 2 weeks. And it's one of these work hard, play hard scenarios. I think I did 5 shows at IBC. And each time I came home, I was just a broken woman. I had no voice. I couldn't speak. But I loved it. Like, you're just running all guns blazing. Like, you've just been working so hard and building up to this fantastic event. And then when it happens and you're doing, 13-hour days, you're just running off adrenaline. But yeah, that was
definitely
amazing
buzz. Like, you're making me all like excited. Like, oh, I
know.
Buzz.
And obviously it's in Amsterdam as well. So amazing party.
Oh, it just makes us all kind of think back to what we're missing, I guess. I just can't wait for the next time I get on a plane and go and do a recce. But it's so weird not, just hearing you talk about the whole kind of the build up and the lead time and then getting on site and then sleepless nights and then kind of the come down after that as well, definitely. Everything has changed and is changing and continues to change. But for you, how have you been through lockdown? Like, what's your lockdown been like? What's been the biggest impact on your working life so far?
I mean, biggest impact is the fact I've been made redundant, so that's not great.
I'm sorry to hear that. Like, when did you find out, and how was it handled? Without naming names or anything, like, it's really hard for so many people going through this sort of thing. But I guess communication is a really hard part through all of that. But what was it like for you?
I mean, I was one of the early casualties. It was mid-March when it happened. Thankfully, my company put me on furlough, and I've only recently been made redundant. So, I just use this opportunity. I mean, I'm the kind of person that I just can't sit still. Like, these opportunities aren't going to come to you. So, you've got to come out. So I just dived straight into my network, met the lovely Tony, Anna. You have many people on our coffee mornings as part of the redundancy group, helping friends out, run virtual events, attended hundreds of webinars like we all are. But yeah, I just kind
of really
threw myself
webinar?
Into it. Favorite webinar?
Oh,
is there one that you really is there one that comes to mind? Is there one that comes to mind where you sort of go, oh yeah, you've got to get on that one? Like, you've got to hear such and such. Is there one that, as you think back?
I must admit, I think so. Lee Kiwanuka of the Shaper Group set up very early on, back in March time ago, I think called the Ops Nest, which just amazing. So it's just been kind of my weekly staple. Tuesday, 2:00, they have guest speakers that come in. She has amazing content, amazing speakers from all across the industry. And that's just been something that every week I really look forward to. So that is a series that I'll be sad to see end, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds really, really cool. Sorry, go on, Tony.
Oh, no, I was going to say, so obviously you've been learning a lot since March, and all this information is sort of coming. So how do you think your role will change, and do you want it to change? Like, how the environment's going, sort of that virtual world. I mean, I obviously know personally you do like the technical side of things, but yeah, how do you think your role will change, and are you kind of happy about that?
I mean, yeah, for me, I embrace change. I mean, I was already kind of looking to explore and to, kind of expand what I did as part of my remit anyway. But this has obviously just happened. I know it's been out of my control, but what can I control? So for me, like I said, I did kind of jump into loads of webinars and training, and I was doing, event marketing, and I was doing LinkedIn upskilling and kind of all these different things. I did a project management course, and I was like, do you know what? Let's be strategic about this. Let's really kind of look at my skill set at the moment and think where those kind of gaps are in the knowledge that I have, and kind of what is going to help businesses out, in the future. So obviously that at the moment is more the kind of a health and safety elements around things like I've touched upon. And then also the virtual is obviously a big thing. So that at the moment has helped me kind of focus, my learning. And therefore I do definitely think the role is going to change, but I'm just embracing it. For me, like you said, I do. I'm a bit of a geek about event technology. It's something that I've been really passionate about. So the virtual element of it is almost a bolt on. I don't think, kind of let's reinvent the wheel. Loads of businesses and events companies have existing, registrations, apps, kind of matchmaking tools. Like, just bolt this on as part of that customer experience. I do kind of geek out about the customer journey side of things. And so, yeah.
And I just sort of like, from that, has there been anything during lockdown that you've actually found another interest for that you weren't aware of, sort of going on from that? Because obviously you've always been part of sort of the technical part. So is it like, I found this, like maybe it was on a webinar or something like that. You're like, oh, I like that element. Like, is there anything that you've found that you weren't aware of?
I really do enjoy the event marketing side of things and the copywriting. And I've got a little obsession with Canva at the moment.
Yep.
I'm loving the creative side of things. I mean, my creativity in the past has kind of gone as far as almost being the one who has the vision and knowing what I want it to look like, and kind of, giving the brief out to graphic designers and signage companies and whatever, is kind of, what we're going to create on site. And I've never been actually the one being able to do it. So even though it's something only small, creating little Canva posts for LinkedIn and some branding elements and all these kind of things, I really like it. And also the copywriting side of things as well. Like, again, I've worked at companies where that always sits within the marketing department, or content production, or it's kind of a dedicated role, as it were. And I think now I'm promoting myself during this period, and I'm trying to do it obviously the best I can. So I'm really enjoying that element of it.
That's so cool. It's so cool that you found something, creative, like a creative outlet that you can kind of spend time on and dig into and kind of get to know a little bit better. What do you think, as things start to find and sort of settle down into whatever the new way of being is? What do you think? Do you think your role will be different? Like, do you think you'll go off down one of these directions, maybe, or do you think? Yeah, how do you think it could be? What could be better about what you're doing?
I think so. The virtual element of things, like I said, I think there is definitely going to be that. When we do go back to live, virtual is still going to play a huge part. I don't think there's going to be this, let's just return to normal. The guidance has come out, and there's, the stipulations around being 10, square meters per person. Like, that is huge. You're not going to get that many people in a venue. The experience is going to be very different. So, there's obviously all the talk around the hybrid events, the hub and spoke model. There's all these kind of different elements where virtual cannot just be, a pivot to virtual as a replacement like it is now. It is going to be something that complements it, and it should work both ways. So, a kind of a truly good hybrid event for me would be something that the people who are attending remotely feel like they're connected with the content and the networking and the people in the room, and then likewise the people who are there at the event, like, they also get some kind of additional benefits to attending a virtual world. So whether you kind of go all out with the tech in terms of, VR, or even if it's just some additional content that pops up, or, it's a much larger network people will have access to. So I think we should embrace that. And we need to kind of think about...
Sorry, go on. Yeah, go on.
No, so I was going to say, so from obviously an event organizer point of view, it is that, you've kind of got two different elements to think about: the customer journey, the people in the room, the remote element, and how you engage those two. And I think it's got to be, it's going to be challenging on our part, but it's got to be as seamless as possible. I mean, obviously, because I've attended so many virtual events, I've got so many hints and tips about what I like and what I definitely don't like. So I just can't wait to put those into practice.
I definitely think that's an interesting thing from an event manager perspective. We're always on the other end of things. And actually now, over this lockdown period, we've all been on the other side of it, like the actual user experience one. So I think that's what's been quite interesting. I know I found it, because then you notice things like, oh, I like this, but I don't like that. I'm like, I wonder if I would want that. And so I think it's been quite insightful to be on this other side of it.
I think of a lot of the skills, obviously, that we have from planning live events. You can transition those into the virtual world. And unfortunately, some companies, kind of got rid of a lot of members of staff because, you focus purely on live, therefore you don't have a role in our new business model. And I don't think that is the right way to go about it, because like I said, a lot of our kind of skill sets and way of looking at, you know, things. We're problem solvers, aren't we? So this is something new for us. You know, what can we do to make it better?
Yeah. And so, you know, with all the information that you're sort of giving us, like, you know, based on the kind of current climate, do you actually want to stay within the events industry? Or is there, you know, or are there parts which you kind of go, I don't really like that part and I want to transition somewhere else? Like, you know, you've obviously got a wealth of knowledge over the last few months. So, yeah, do you think you do want to change or stay where you are and you're actually quite excited about what's to come?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the events industry for about 8.5 years now, and I absolutely love it. I just do. I did explore briefly going down the kind of the project management route. I was thinking, is that a kind of safer, you know, more kind of versatile route if something like this happens again? But I think if it does happen again, you know, we've done the hard part now. Like, this is it. We know we can get through this, and it just means, you know, the event models are going to be different in the future. So I don't think there will be kind of a huge crash like there was this time. So I definitely want to stick with the event industry. I really truly believe in it. I truly believe we can get back to this, and whatever that norm, dare I say it, looks like, I think it will be better than it ever has been. Yeah.
Oh, that's such a positive way of looking at it. I think it's really important to to reinvent. And it sounds like you've been doing a huge amount of reinvention over the last, I don't know how long it is, 16 weeks now. You know, it's incredible to hear, I guess, what you've been through and for you to share your story. So thank you so much for sharing. Like, what this is something I ask everybody. What is the best piece of work advice that you've ever been given, or do you have like a mantra, something that you live by as you go through life?
Oh God, I wish I was that deep to have a mantra. I think for me, I've always been, I mean, having, you know, just met me on this, you know, 20-minute chat, I think I come across, I'm a very bubbly person, I'm very chatty, you know, I can be a bit, I get a bit kind of nervous, and I use, I suppose, comedy as a bit of a coping mechanism. And, you know, so I think for me, I've always been a little bit conscious, you know, kind of as I've kind of progressed throughout my career, sitting in board meetings, being at events, speaking publicly. I've always kind of shied away from these things. And even if I do, you know, I know my stuff, I can speak on these things, but I've also been a little bit kind of shy in kind of putting myself forward in case I've been ridiculed or I seem silly or I giggle or whatever it may be. But yeah, a couple of people said to me throughout my career, mainly suppliers actually, just be you, just don't change, because it's that whole people by people, right? Like, people really connect with you. You make them feel comfortable, you have a giggle, and you build those strong foundations. And I think what I've learned during this time is those relationships have continued with me beyond those companies, and my network is getting stronger and stronger based on me and my personality. And so I just think, just don't change, just be who you are. Celebrate
you can only be you. Like, you are the only you out there. So
I mean, I'm going to be 34 soon. I don't think I'm going to be changing anytime soon. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Oh, brilliant. It's such a fantastic opportunity to talk to you. Thank you very much. It's been such a fun conversation. So thank you for that. And thank you to Tony. Well done for today. Great to talk to you again.
Thank you, Dave, and thank you, Amy.
And goodbye for now, Amy. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. We'd love to hear from other people across the industry. So if there's anyone else that would like to get in touch, we've got a bit of a backlog now, but we're starting to work through them. Yeah, it'd be great to hear from you. So please do get in touch, and we'll post that health and safety document in the notes later as well. So thank you and goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.